Hi, my name is Michael and I live on Janauskas Farm. I'm just in the middle of a project that I thought you may like to watch me complete.
Janauskas Farm contains 6.5 acres of grass. And it contains some weeds like Scotch thistle, stinking Rogers, dandelions, and rat's tail.
Just to name a few, this means that keeping these weeds under control with normal handheld spray units is impossible. Currently we can only manage the areas around the house. So I started investigating how much it would cost to buy a boom spray system off the shelf. The price range for a fully towable boom spray system ranged from $500 to $3,500. Then I thought I would take a crack at doing my own system because I thought I could make it for around $200. I've already built the boom spray with pump. Let me take you through it.
Here is what the boom spray looks like. It consists of 3 parts. This is the pump unit. It is a 12 volt 2.6 amp 70 psi 4 litres per minute diaphragm pump. It is manufactured by Seaflow and was chosen because of its price, $30 Australian, its nice mounting plate, and it can run dry without damage. If you want to find out more about this pump, I've placed the web address of this product at the top of the screen. I also added a 2.5mm DC power line female connector with a 10mm shaft to the pump. When you get the pump, the leads have no connectors. It just has 2 wires with the ends stripped, ready for a buyer to attach the required connectors. The second part that I made was the switch. It has been designed to take 12 volt power from any source that has a 2.5mm DC power line female connector. The switch itself only has 4 components: a plastic bulkhead mount case, 2 2.5mm bulkhead male DC power connectors, one for accepting power in and the other for power out to the pump, and a mini toggle switch. I bought all these components from Jaycar. The third part is the actual boom itself. It is made from a 6-foot garden stake, a length of 10mm clear vinyl tubing. This tubing is more expensive than using the cheaper poly pipe, but it has way more flexibility in being moved without kinking. And 4 quarter circle jet spray irrigation bits. These bits are placed approximately 50 centimeters apart, and duct tape. I used this tape because it was the cheapest, easiest and quickest way to attach the vinyl tubing to the garden stake.
The first part I'm going to work on is the rig for the garden cart. I want this rig to be able to securely hold 2 25-litre chemical spray containers. I also want to attach the pump to this rig. The second part that I'm going to work on is connecting the pump to the 12 volt power supply on the lawnmower. I've already purchased this 12 volt cigarette lighter plug to 2.5mm DC power line female connector adapter. I can just plug this straight into the switch box I'd previously made. But there will be some work required to extend the power leads of the pump itself. You may be wondering why I'm placing so much emphasis on the on and off switch. It is to conserve chemical spray. Janauskas Farm is very hilly and the mower is old. So old in fact it cannot make it up every hill on the farm. That means it may be necessary to drive over some parts that have already been sprayed. When this occurs, the driver can simply turn the pump off to conserve spray. Now let's start making the rig. Now the very first task I'm going to do is the rig for the chemicals. So what I've done here is I've gone around my yard and I've collected all of this scrap timber. Now I have a good idea how I'm going to do it.
I've been through all my old timber and come up with the design. I'm going to make a simple lattice with 2 strategically placed holes that will fit my 2 25-litre containers. I will simply use screws to join the timber into a lattice. To secure the rig to the trailer, I'm going to drill holes in the timber and the lip of the trailer and use a bolt and a wing nut to tie the rig down. Using wing nuts will make it easy to undo the rig from the trailer. I'm just going to take a look at the rig from another direction, and it looks good. I can see the two 25-litre containers will fit snugly into the lattice rig. Seems like I have enough timber. Now it's time to take some measurements.
Now I've just been measuring the trailer and I'm getting different measurements on the 3 different widths, ranging from 960mm to 950mm. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all these pieces to 950mm, and then I'll just squish the trailer in because the plastic's a bit warpy, and we'll have a nice even frame. I also have to take a measurement of the lip because I'll be actually drilling the holes in the rig so that I can place a screw and wing nut in so that I can secure the rig to the trailer. I can see this is 30mm, which means I'll be needing to drill 2 holes on each one of those rigs here at 15mm so I can securely attach the rig to the trailer. I've made my measurements, and now for the fun times, I get to use the power tools. Come on, drop saw. What fun!
I have finished constructing the rig and it has turned out really well. The rig securely attaches to the trailer. I only used 1 bolt and wing nut per panel, even though I was planning on using 2. Turns out 1 is enough to secure the rigs, and the containers fit nicely into the allocated spots. I attached the pump to the side of the rig at the front of the garden cart. This was the best position for easy placement of the clear vinyl tubing, so no complicated weaving of the tubing will be required. I cut a 400mm long piece of 45mm by 70mm piece of timber and placed it vertically against the trailer and used a 12mm coaching screw to firmly attach it to the rig. I attached the boom to the vertical pieces of timber by pre-drilling pilot holes in the garden stake. Then using 2 galvanized timber screws, I attached the garden stake to the vertical pieces.
I've filled the container with water and I'm going to see if everything is operating efficiently. I'm going to test the boom spray unit by spraying over my driveway. Because it is dry, we should be able to see if the unit is adequately dispersing the spray. Now let's have a go. Let's have a look at the driveway. It still looks like the driveway hasn't been effectively sprayed. I'm going to turn on the boom spray and have a look at what's happening. Interesting. It seems the nozzles are spraying upwards. I'm going to reconfigure the nozzles to spray parallel to the ground. This should make the boom spray disperse its load more effectively. I have reconfigured the nozzles so that they spray parallel with the ground and it appears to be spraying well. Time to test it out on the driveway again. Success. It sprayed well. Now it's time to have a go on the real grass. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you had as much fun as I did doing this project. See you around.